Did someone say comb effect? Well, don't worry, because now you can get your comb for those frequencies. Let me start over. Hello everyone, my name is KelSounds, and today I'm going to be showing you guys the KelSounds comb effect. I made this cool little Ableton rack over here. I'm going to turn this off, and then turn this off. Yeah, on the KelSounds comb effect you have the comb and the feedback. It's basically just delaying the signal, and I am using the tap-in. Oop, this might take a while, hold on. Whoops. It's basically just delaying. I'm using a tap-in and tap-out device. I have the signal from the left side of the signal going into tap-in, and then a tap-out, and then that tap-out is being fed back into itself. But yeah, anyways, this little fader here is controlling the volume that is being fed back into the tap-in. So yeah, once again, the signal is coming in through this this inlet, and it's being sent into the tap-in, and then it's being sent to the tap-out. This tap-out is going into a volume fader, so I can control the volume of the tap-out, and then this is being sent back into the tap-in as a feedback. And so that's pretty much what this feedback knob is. And then this is for the left side, and this is for the right side. Yeah, for both signals. Sorry for my mess in here. There's just wires everywhere. And there's probably a better way of doing this, but I'm still kind of new to Max4Live, and I just wanted to get the effect out. There's actually a comb effect as well inside of Max4Live. So there is a comb object. I mean, it's probably, honestly, it's probably easier to do it this way. But I don't know, it just felt like, I just didn't feel right just using an object. I'm like, well, I might as well just grab a comb filter. I felt like doing it this way kind of helped me learn a little bit more what a comb filter is doing to your signal. I mean, because pretty much, I mean, all it is a delayed signal, and then it's like being fed back into itself. Yeah, comb filter is really cool. But anyways, I just wanted to show you that and what was happening. And then all of this right here, this little object doesn't really matter. It's just all the appearance stuff for my two knobs here for the comb and then the feedback and all that stuff. So this has nothing to do with the audio. It's just all for the appearance of the Max4Live effect. But yeah, that is what's happening. And so I put this inside of a Ableton rack, and yeah, this is what it sounds like. Of course, there's no comb effect happening because there's no feedback happening, so the signal is not being fed back into itself. But once you turn this up, there's plenty of feedback. This is just like, I mean, it's delaying the signal, so it's pretty much like messing with the phase of a signal. That's why it sounds like that, because, yeah, it's just delaying the signal. But yeah, once you add some feedback, it is doing some interesting stuff with the signal. I also went ahead and added a ensemble chorus effect thing inside of this rack, so to give it some stereo. Actually, that feedback gain slider thing that I was showing you guys earlier, kind of have to really be careful with the amount of volume that you're feeding back into the tap in, because if not, you can, I mean, like, it gets super loud. So if it goes above like a specific range, like, it can actually be really, really, really loud. So yeah, I had to be careful with that. So if you are messing with the tap-in, tap-out objects and doing a feedback loop, kind of like what was being done inside of the Max4Live device that I opened up, just be careful that you don't turn it up too much, because yeah, you'll definitely, I feel like it's definitely possible to like blow your speakers out. Yeah, just be careful when doing it that way. But yeah, anyways, added a stereo. This is just a chorus effect. Then I also added this filter, which has some movement going on. So if I have both of these on, add the feedback as well. And then for this highs, I just have a faceplant in here. Yeah, just a regular analog generator. I was originally going to try and make a filter effect, or not a filter effect, a comb effect with the delay. So I was just going to like maybe use this as the feedback again, and then the delay this as the comb effect by just moving this around. But it only goes to 10 milliseconds, and I wanted a little bit of a shorter time, so that's why I went ahead and made the effect in Max4Live, and just because I have a little bit more control of what's happening with my sound. Also, it was a really good learning experience for me, just because I'm trying to get more into Max4Live. But yeah, that's just a square wave with some unison on it. I have 2 voices and the detune up by like 0.5, so very, very little unison. And then for the bass, another phase plant preset. It's just a sine wave. That's it actually for the bass. This is what's happening with the filter. It's just turning on and off this auto filter, which has a LFO mount on it, and it's like sweeping the sound here. That's all that's doing. This stereo is just for the stereo knob over here. It's just a parallel process chorus effect with EQ8. So yeah, that's all that's happening in there. And then this multipass, I set the first band at 120 hertz. I was trying to do like some sort of OTT effect. I didn't really need to compress the low end. I mean, it sounded really good. Plus, I think it sounds good when you just have like a unprocessed sub sine wave in the low end. So I was like, I don't really need to compress it. I would just be squishing the bass, so I left that alone. All I did was add a gain snap in on there, which really doesn't even do anything. And then for the mids, which is like 120 hertz all the way up to 4000 kilohertz, I have a distortion to add some warmth, and then I added a dynamics to compress the signal a bit. And then for the highs, I just brought up the highs with upwards compression to bring up the highs there. And then I used a shaper to saturate the sound, carved the sound with a slice EQ to give it a little bit of a mix, compress the signal, and then I added a gain and have it set to -5 decibels to turn down the volume. And that's all that's inside of there. So without it, it sounds like this. And then with it, it sounds like this. So I guess it kind of is like an OTT effect, but with its own little twist, with some distortion. But yeah, that is pretty much the effect. And yeah, this will be available on my Patreon for subscribed members. So if you want to go ahead and check that out, you can. I'm also going to, for the rack, for the Ableton rack, I'm just going to release this project file. So that way you'll have everything in here, and I'll like collect all and save, so that way you can have everything you need for the rack. I'm also going to release the comb effect on its own as well. So it'll just be this little KelSounds comb effect if you want to just go ahead and throw that on pretty much whatever. I put it on some drums. I thought it sounded pretty cool. So let's see, we got some breakbeat drums in here. I'm going to go ahead and loop this thing really quickly. Oh yeah, I initially have the effect at -12 decibels when you load it in, because well, the feedback, like, it gets pretty loud. So I have it at -12. So if I turn that on, you can go ahead and turn that up a little bit, but yeah. But yeah, that is the comb effect. And then let's see, I got it on a bass here as well, so... Oh, wait, this is what it originally sounded like. Then when I turn the comb effect on... But yeah, that is the KelSounds comb effect. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Adios.